What's going on, people? Welcome. First video. Is it going out first?
This will probably go out first.
First video on the new channel, Only Facts Extra. Nick, Shane, Ricky. Ricky is new to the show, but he's a wild brother, so we've got to bring him in for the more controversial topics. Do you know what I'm saying? He don't want to talk about football and that kind of thing. But when we start talking about terrorism and crime and SA and all these kind of things, Ricky said, that's my bag. Let me get involved. Do you know what I'm saying? That's
He's one of the few that actually speak about their dark thoughts openly.
Yeah.
You know, most of
that's a good assessment, actually. That's how we kind of became close.
Yeah. Most of the grey men speak about it behind closed doors.
You can tell by how they look at you, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I used to live in Twickenham and there was rugby on, like, you could tell the white people that were from London and the ones that weren't, because the ones that weren't looked at you like they were in a zoo. And here we have a wild Negro. Do you know what I mean? So it was like
David Attenborough.
Yeah, that's what it was. Do you know what I'm saying? But the white guys are from London are super normal, like, you know, when man them are walking past looking kind of rough and white people are like, you don't scare me, I live in Brixton. Like, whatever. But yeah, like we don't know, with everything that's happening in the world right now, we don't know how long.
We don't even know.
We don't know how long we're all going to be here because nuclear war seems on the brink. So I think
we don't even
we bust
know.
a rum and have a laugh, really.
Every week, we don't even know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, of course.
We don't even know. We don't. And here's a sick one. We actually want you guys to actually
suggest us topics. Get involved. The community's already suggested us some topics. You guys suggest us some topics. We've got some good regular viewers, so this should be good. The currently, just before I went to Grenada, I was scared of getting on the plane because there was just bombs dropping everywhere, here, which way, everywhere. I went just after America and Iran, all this kind of stuff, and it's all started with Palestine and Israel and the whole situation. And it's a situation that we want to touch on, talk about, and some people have different controversial views. I guess it's one of those situations where every view is controversial. If you support Palestine, that's controversial. If you support Israel, that's controversial. If you're this, if you're that. And I know that we've got different views on it as us on the panel, but I know Shane particularly has some thoughts based on history and the way that he views different people and stuff like that.
Like, I think we all have different views, but I'm a person. Nick has openly said, like, bare times.
Yeah, I always
free or oppressed people.
Yeah.
And for me,
I say it pretty much every week on the show.
Internally, I 100% believe, and I'm even in support internally of Palestine. I literally internally, I'm in support. Not, bro. I am. I promise you, I am.
Okay.
I promise you, I am.
Okay.
I'm in support of Palestine, but not openly. And I'm not openly in support of Palestine because I'm afraid to get cancelled. It's definitely not that, because we would have been cancelled a long time.
Yeah.
It's because I know about hijacking revolution, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Me and Nick specifically, we come from a culture where revolution is ubiquitous. It's like like the foundation of the Caribbean is revolution.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And our revolution was fought and won by us. So the oppressed fought and got their revolution. I can go into the details of it. Boom. But if you look at other people around the world's revolution, it's always been hijacked by white people.
Even ours was hijacked by white people, depending on where you get your news source. It's not from us because we got our information from our parents and grandparents.
Facts.
But if you go and read certain history books or different articles, it will be very much hijacked by white people.
Why I'm against anyone and this is where why I'm against anyone who's not from Palestine saying free Palestine is because what's basically happening is, if I'm getting bullied at school, if I call my brother to back my beef, did I really win the beef? Do you know what I'm saying? The people who are being oppressed, they have to have their own revolution, bro. It shouldn't be like, I get.
But I think the thing with Palestine is that it's a genocide. They are wildly outgunned. It's not even a fair thing. And also, the people of Palestine and the Palestinians I know are asking us for that support. They're asking for that. That's different to hijacking.
For me, like in 100
years'
years' time,
you think that when we scream Free Palestine, we look like the white girls that wear Black Lives Matter t-shirts?
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. That's how I look at it, and I'm like, there's actual people being oppressed, bro. And the real definition of revolution is the people who are being oppressed fighting for their rights.
I remember during COVID, the girl I was dating at the time was like, "You're not coming to this march?" I was like, "No." She was like, why are you not coming? I was like, bitch, I've been to mad marches. You just got here yesterday.
That is the thing, like the actions we make in different countries, apart from if we were actually being bombed every day.
Exactly, bro.
Like, it.
But what if they're asking for the support?
If you're asking for the support, then as a nation, you have to do more. Walking around central London with a flag and a signpost
saying free Palestine doesn't
doing
mean
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, I ain't been to any marches, but like, I'm saying,
like that's what.
nothing.
Remember that girl that we bumped
not-
into. Remember that girl that we bumped into in the first studio that we worked in. That girl.
Yes.
That light skin
Yeah,
girl.
yeah, yeah,
She literally felt offended that we didn't support the cause.
See, but
That's stupid, bro.
that's the thing. Like I said, if you walk around London, you're doing that. You're not doing anything. But then
You're raising awareness.
you're raising awareness.
But who doesn't know about it?
Here-
Bro?
here's
At this point, everybody knows about it.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing: we have two of the best things in the world that can spread awareness for us. We have the internet and we have the media.
Yeah.
So you literally causing havoc in London, trashing stuff up, like tearing down flags and stuff. He's doing
Nothing, bro. It's
Some of it's emotional. Some of it is emotional and symbolic.
I guarantee.
Some of it is emotional.
This is what's going to happen.
When Jesse Owens won the Olympics in front of Hitler in Berlin, people might say, some people that don't like black people would say, "Oh, what does bow on your head and put your fist up do? Nothing. What was achieved? What was achieved? What was achieved? Nothing was achieved. But it's sometimes it's symbolic. Was it not like that?
No, it wasn't. But here's the difference. Let me tell you why that's different, bro. It's because the people that were putting their hand up represent an oppressed people, bro. The people in
the Palestinians can't get out.
No.
They would love to leave and come and do a march and put their hand. They can't get out. They're trapped.
Bro, let me tell you. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. I'm slightly passionate about this, because as I said, in the Caribbean, revolution is ubiquitous, bro. Like America right now, none of us can name one person who is celebrated for the freedom of the black people. The people who white people push is Abraham Lincoln, bro. He wrote the Emancipation of whatever. Yeah, he wrote that. So that is what you call hijacking.
Yeah.
Hijacking someone's revolution.
He only did that for votes. The black population over 400 years of slavery massively expanded.
Exactly.
He could
so
get a vote in the
at
South.
the end of the day, I can imagine all of these. Some of these people are white. Some of these people aren't even Muslim. Some people found Muslim in a jail cell. I'm like, bro, is that who you want in 100 years to say these are the people that helped me get my freedom? I
don't think they care.
Speaking to people directly from Palestine, when you do eventually get your freedom, because I hope you definitely get it, you want it to be you getting your freedom,
But
bro.
if that's you're making the assumption, I was going to say we won our revolution. We did. Well, I've just come back from the Caribbean. I've got some controversial thoughts on that. We can discuss this another time. But we won the revolution, but we're still very much in the early stages of development in the Caribbean. So we're not there yet. But you're assuming they win. If they had you're giving them a fictional reality of when you win, who do you want to be remembered? The random white people in London marching, but what if they don't win?
Yeah, because it's the future tense you're using.
It's the future tense you're using. They may not win. They're up against Israel. Man can't win against Israel. What are we talking about?
Sometimes,
Israel with America have enough bombs and guns and all the rest of it to wipe these men out completely.
Me and my sister had a debate, and she was on your side with this. But my argument is very simple. Sometimes it's about how you want to lose, bro. Because maybe even
that's not your decision to make.
One second. Cool. That's why I don't openly support it. Because for me, revolution is you standing up and fighting. So in the original scenario that I gave you, when I said, would I call my brother to back it? You said sometimes they're asking you for your help. I will never do that. I'm dying, bro. That's my way of view. Bro.
How would your brother feel about that?
Huh?
How would your brother feel about that?
But my brother will feel the same way. Bro, you're forgetting. Bro, you know more than anyone about your personal history, bro. Yeah. It wasn't about winning or losing. It's about you fighting, bro. That's always what black people represent.
I'd rather be alive, though. Have you been shot before?
No.
Have you been stabbed before?
No, I haven't.
You'd rather be alive. When you're laying on the floor bleeding out, the only thing you're doing is clinging to life, bruv. The only thing you're thinking about is I want life.
It depends, innit? It depends, bro.
I want life. What's the closest you've ever been to death?
What's the closest I've ever been to death?
Yeah, personally.
Probably being hit like nearly being hit by a train or something like that.
You know what I'm saying? And all you want is life. All man want is life, bro.
Yeah, but I'm not fighting for a cause. You getting shot and stabbed on the road, bro. You're not fighting for a cause. You're fighting for idiotness, bro. You are as a Palestinian. I would rather. So let me ask you a question.
Go on.
As a Palestinian, you're telling me, you would rather get support and somebody else hijack your revolution just to live. Is that what you're saying?
No, listen. You haven't given they're not. That's not an equivalence.
It is, bro.
No, it's not. Let me explain to you. The equivalent. They're hopelessly outgunned by a mile. Yeah. The argument is if you could survive with other people's support or none of you survive. What would you prefer? What would you prefer?
I would, if you're asking me, and it's very difficult.
We got a conversation coming up about being pro-black and stuff. Yeah, and one one of your things is about populating the black community, yeah?
Facts.
Would you rather black people have their revolution with the support of white people,
Yeah,
or
pretty much, yeah,
black people were gone?
Yeah.
Completely gone.
'Cause
Gone,
it's-
end off, point blank, gone.
But when the black people got their revolution, it was with that mindset.
Answer
it
the
was
question.
with that mindset. bro.
Answer the question. Would you rather black people have the revolution with the support of white people, or black people be gone from the face of the earth?
Of course, I would rather the first one.
Sorry.
Case
But,
closed.
but that's not the two. That's not the two options. 'Cause
They
you
are
can
the
have
two
your,
options.
You can have your revolution and still be the
They
one to fight for.
can't.
Yes, bro, we did, bro. What are you talking
Why
about?
are you talking
bro?
about us versus there's way more black people, there's a way wider
Not at that
diaspora.
time, bro. Not at
Yes,
that
there
time.
was at that time.
So-
I just
so let me ask you a question, let me ask you a question.
I literally just did a search a couple of days ago of the number, because I was like, how did white people dominate the world so much? Yes, I was looking at the numbers of, because I see mad white people on
Bro.
Twitter. 1 second, I see mad white people on Twitter scared of like this great replacement theory that they're gonna be replaced.
Yeah, of course.
So I was actually looking at from slavery time to now. At the population, and I don't agree with them, but white people are the race that have grown numbers-wise by the least. At that time, white people were the dominant race on the planet. I didn't know that. I've always thought it was Asians, because there's so many Asians. But the black race has massively expanded, and the Asian races have massively expanded by far.
I slightly feel like you've missed everything that I'm talking
Yeah.
about, like 1,000,000,000%.
Okay, good.
bro. Because I'm talking about, you've literally laid two versions of the extreme. You've laid out either black people be wiped off the earth, or white people support us.
Israel's trying to wipe them off the face of the earth. So it's not an extreme. The reason it's not an extreme is because white people were trying to use us as slaves and cattle and all the rest of it, but they were not actually trying to wipe them out completely.
Bro.
When white people wanted to wipe out, when white people wanted to wipe out, no, when white people wanted to wipe out a certain group of people, like the Moors or the Arawaks or whatever, guess what? Them motherfuckers got wiped out.
No, they
So
didn't.
they fought back.
bro.
Some of them
They
did.
didn't,
The
bro.
Moors fought back. I
Could we not
understand that.
still have Maroon Town in Jamaica? Bro?
Yes,
What are you
some of them.
talking
That's why I
about,
said
bro?
some of them fought back. I understand that,
Exactly.
but some of the
Did they
some of the tribes are gone. Some of the tribes are gone.
But did they get somebody else from another country to help them?
No.
Okay then, that's my point.
I'm
bro.
I'm just saying. Some of the tribes are gone though.
True, and guess what? They would rather die.
You can't say you don't know that.
Because if they, bro,
You don't know that.
Based on everything that
I
I've
can't
seen,
guess that somebody 500
Based
years
on-
ago would have rather died than be alive. I can't
based
guess
on
that.
everything that I've seen, well, then why didn't they bow down to the white man then?
Because they were fighting. Because they were fighting.
Thank
Because
you.
they thought they would
Thank you.
win. But that's
No,
not
they were
preferring
outnumbered, bro.
death.
They
That's
were
not prefer-
severely outnumbered, bro. They were
That's not-
severely
that's not-
outnumbered. They
that's
were
not- that's not
severely-
preferring
So when
death.
the French came to Haiti, were they not severely outnumbered and
Yeah.
outgunned?
Yeah.
They were bush people, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly what
The
happened. bro.
problem is with both sides of that. So whether it's black or white, Israeli, Palestinians.
Yeah.
There are going to be people fighting both corners. So there would have been black people that were happily going to bow down to the white.
Facts.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
There will be nowhere near as many.
We know some of them.
There
Yeah,
will
facts.
will be people in Palestine who are doing
Pro-Israel.
Pro-Israel. There will be.
Even if it's for like a double, like for their own.
And it will be. It'll be a matter of life or death for them. It'll be like, I'll help you if you give me this food for my child, because that's what it's coming down to there. Because, like Nick said, they don't have the gunpowder. They don't have the backing. So now they're having to look at everyday life as a way of progressing forward.
I hear you, and this is my counter conversation to you. We've all three of us have agreed that what we do in this country has no bearing or support that people holding placards and
Not
all of
for
that.
me.
I didn't agree with that. But
So you actually feel like people holding placards
you
and
said
walking
no,
and
no,
marching?
no. The first sentence you said is nothing that we do in this country. There's nothing
Nothing
we
that
do.
you personally do in this country support Palestine.
As an individual, no, but as
Okay,
a
cool.
large group, yes, because
So-
we can lobby our MPs to
Okay.
do certain things and
So
stuff
you're
like
telling
that.
me
That
there is
possible.
something symbolic about 50 people standing outside Liverpool
That's
streets?
right. I'm not talking about the protests. I'm not talking about
So
Malik.
what
and
do
that's
we
what people are
do?
doing
What do
here.
we do
But I
then?
understand.
What do we actually do?
They're
What do
repi-
what do
but-
people
but
actually do?
what you can do, when I lived in Richmond, I used to talk to my MP probably once a month. Most people don't because they're not weirdos like me, but I'm deep into politics. When certain things happened, like I don't know, this is a really small example. Yeah, my bins moved from once a week to once every 2 weeks.
Shout
But
out bins.
Man wrote a letter. Man wrote a letter to my MP, bro. I was talking to my neighbours. Obviously, it's Richmond. There's mad middle class white people. They're very interested in their politics. And the lady downstairs, the dog web. We all wrote letters to our MP. The bins went straight back to once a week.
Right.
So obviously, no, that's something she has control over. But I'm just saying, in terms of arms embargoes that you can get, obviously, a lot of people are signing petitions to try and get Britain to stop giving guns and supporting Israel, etc., etc. There are things that we can do. Not me as an individual, but all of us as a collective. But that's not protests. But I'm just saying the protests and stuff. You want to say that's pointless? That's fine. But I'm just saying.
Can I?
Just because you said the sentence, there's nothing we can do in this country. There's not nothing.
I'm just gonna say, because I know people in the comment section are gonna hate
and we
me
can
anyway,
vote.
are gonna hate me anyway.
Yeah.
So I want to make my opinion very clear. The reason why I don't openly say free Palestine, even though internally I feel I understand their oppression. The reason why I don't openly is because, one, I don't like to hijack people's oppression, and more than anything, and I think I can't emphasize this anymore, there is nothing that I believe that I can do by me saying or putting a hashtag or putting a flag. It doesn't do nothing.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a waste of energy.
If you knew there was a way that you could help, you'd be happy to help.
Yeah, I would be happy to help.
I think so.
Yeah.
One of the ways we can help in this country, we have democracy. We could vote out. If we look at different political parties, and there's some political parties that are not going to give arms or are anti-war. If we all voted Green Party, the Green Party.
But that's not going to happen.
Of course it's not. I'm just saying. The sentence that there's nothing we can do is not accurate.
So you mentioned arms there, yeah.
Yeah.
So you also know my world of what I work in for like that side of things. I look at the defence and military sector. I know of 3 big defence contractors that have all like labelled their profits since they started this.
Yeah, he's on the side of war, by the way.
So like they've labelled their profits in terms of their supplying missiles that are making people in their suits millions.
Yeah, of course.
And I've like even spoken to some of these people recently that are below these people living the last 3 weeks, and they're going, "Yeah, we've just received X amount." I'm not going to name them, but
yeah, of course. It's big money. It's big money, but that's capitalism.
And that's why, as a nation, we cannot really do much because the power at the top is making too much.
It's money, isn't it? It's money. Do you know what I mean? Man make money.
It's all money. All war's money.
It's money. There's big money in debt. Even the funeral arrangers are laughing right now. Them man are making big money. Man are selling flower arrangers now.
Just to finish my point in it, and I guess I don't know anything.
Would you accept from a different culture of people, when black people are going through their oppression, that we support you but silently? You would accept that. We support you but not outwardly. We just support you silently.
But it's different because black people aren't like that. Black people fight for their own freedom. So what are you talking about? But they're not asking for other people. How much black people do you not asking for help, bro?
Yeah, it's good.
Do you know what I'm saying? Let's keeping it real. How much? Bro?
It's different time.
Keeping it real, and let's keep it all the way 100. When you know why it's so peak, and I'm telling you why it's so peak. We think about Abraham Lincoln when the black people were freed, yeah?
I don't, but yeah.
The West people, they think about that. Cool. Even when Jewish people were being enslaved by, not even enslaved, but they were in the concentration camps with Hitler, those people were freed by America and England. You can't name me one person that was Jewish that when I mean Jewish, that was oppressed. That was oppressed that fought their way out of freedom. Yeah. We can even go back to Moses, bro. You can even go back to Moses, where Moses wasn't the oppressed person. So I only know, like when I list my saviors and my revolutionaries, they're black people who were oppressed and fought for freedom. We're talking. So that's real revolution to me.
I think because you mentioned it, the Hitler and the Jews thing, there are individuals who tried to do what they could.
No, of course. I know
what you're saying.
I'm saying who celebrated. I'm not saying that they weren't people. I'm saying when you think about World War II and who defeated Hitler, you say Franklin Roosevelt, you say maybe Winston Churchill. That's who you say. Yeah. You don't. Those Jewish people.
Yeah. Give me two Jewish heroes from World War II.
Bielskis.
There you go.
Bielski brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
They wiped out a whole Nazi and Gestapo division.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not mainstream.
That is but even I love the fact.
There's a film that's
I love the fact that you said that, because in 100 years you're not going to be able to name 2 Palestinians that fought for their revolution. You're going to see one man in England who found Islam in a prison cell, and one man in America. That's what you're going to find, bro. They will never. A lot
of the men are forced to turn Muslim in jail as well.
But my point still remains. They demonize anybody who's from Palestine facing oppression. They demonize them instantly. So that's what I'm talking about, hijacking people's revolution. Yeah. If I was white and Jewish, I'll give Palestine their freedom, because guess what? In 100 years' time, I'm going to be the one remembered for your freedom. You couldn't fight for yourself. I had to save you.
That's a power play. Go back to the Greek times. It's what they all did. Achilles did the same thing.
Literally, bro. Thank you for saying that.
He literally went to war knowing he was going to die, but he was like, "I'll die in war because my name will go far."
Facts. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? I just say, you know what? I'm gonna free the slaves, and the only reason why Palestine's free is because of Jewish people. Do you know how sick that would be if I was Jewish? If I was Jewish, I'd be like, let me free every.
He's doing reverse psychology. I see it.
But it's true
Clever
though.
though.
It's smart
It's
though. In 100 years' time, you have to beg for me for freedom.
He's right. If they actually thought about it and went, hold on, there's a chance here.
Yeah, but they have to win first. They have to win.
We said it earlier. They've got the power. They've got the power to win it.
Facts.
They've just got to think how they use that power.
You think the Palestinians have the power to?
No,
I'm saying
if
to
I
you,
was
Jews.
Jewish,
Right,
and
no, I'm talking about the
we're talking about the
Palestinians.
reverse
we're
psychology.
trying to
Okay.
reverse
Yeah.
psychology. If I was Jewish, I'll free every
If I
Palestinian.
was some man sitting in Jerusalem right now, and I was like, my country have got the power, but I could potentially influence how we use that power.
But like, bro, I give you a prime example. Queen Elizabeth, when they gave the independence to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Queen's
Power
head
move.
The Queen's head is
Power
still.
move.
Her head is still on the money.
Facts, bro.
I was fuming. I got my EC dollars.
Yeah,
What the fuck
bro, I'm
bullshit
telling
is
you.
this?
That's what I'm telling you, bro. That's what I'm telling you.
East Caribbean dollars and I've got a white person's head on the
Thank
on the
you.
money. What kind of foolishness is this?
Who do you want there?
Maurice Bishop.
Yeah. Facts, bro. And real
Karani-
revolution.
Karani James.
Real,
Yeah,
real
real
revolution, bro.
Karani James.
Real revolution, bro. But yeah.
I don't give a fuck who they put. I'd rather them put the little auntie from Ashanti than they put Queen's. I don't give a shit who. I don't care who. Put me on it.
I can when I'm saying all Palestinians, I can list 10 people that fought for my revolution. I hope when you become free, and I wish you freedom, I hope you can list 10 people. Because you're probably going to be listing man from Brixton, one man from Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be Farrakhan.
Couple hoteps on the corner. Yeah. Fair enough.
Tune into the next video.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, or dislike the video. Let us know what you think, where you stand on it. You know, maybe it is a case that, you know, I was going to say, nah, that's crazy. I was going to say, maybe it's a case of black people are the only people that fought for their own revolution, but that's not true.
That's not true.
Koreans and mad other
There's
people.
loads.
But there's loads of people. But some people can, some people
Even
can't.
white people, bro.
Some people can, some people can't. White people?
Yeah, white people fought for their what do you mean, bro? Like,
let's
white people against other white people.
Yeah, let's close this topic. Like the video, subscribe to the channel.